Niddah Daf Samaches. The Gemara tells us a story that Abba Mori got into an argument with his wife, and his wife refused to go to the mikvah. Their son-in-law, Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, tried to make peace between them. So the wife tells Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, listen, it's too late. Come back tomorrow. Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak understood that to mean that she didn't perform chafifa yet. She didn't rinse her entire body, and it's too late to do it at night. You have to do it the day before. Tells Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, no. You have slaves, you have hot water. Why don't you do it tonight? In other words, Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak paskin that you do chafifa at night. You don't have to do it prior. And we're not concerned that if you do it at night, she'll be rushed and she wouldn't do a good job. Gemara tells us that Rava darshan in public, and he said that if a woman has to go to the mikvah Matzei Shabbos, you should do the chafifa Erev Shabbos, 24 hours in advance, because we're concerned if you tell her to do it on Matzei Shabbos, she'll be rushed and she won't do a good job. But Papa tells Rava, listen, there's a letter that came out from Rabbi Yochanan that tells us that you should do chafifa as close as possible to the tefillah, and you don't do it on Erev Shabbos. The Chafetz Chaim brings this Gemara in Klal Vav Halacha Tes. He says that even Amoraim made mistakes when it came to halacha, and when they found out that they made a mistake, they announced it in public. And in fact, Rava announced in public, Tos hu biyadi, I made a mistake. And the halacha is that if you go to the mikvah on Matzei Shabbos, the chafifa is on Matzei Shabbos. The halacha, if a woman goes to the mikvah, she does the chafifa the day before. In other words, she does it close to Shkia, and it works its way in after Shkia, and therefore you're yaitza all shitas. On Matzei Shabbos, you do chafifa on Matzei Shabbos. The concept of hefsek tahara, a woman should do a bedika at the end of 7 days of Niddah before she goes to the mikvah. What if she didn't do it at the end of 7 days? So there's a four-way machlokes. According to Rebbe, if a woman does a bedika on the first day of the 7 days, that's enough to consider her cheskas tahara, and all the tires that she touched remain tahar, and she's mutter to her husband. According to Chachamim, only on the second day, if she did a hefsek tahara on the second day, then she's becheskes tahara. Why not on the first day? Because she has a chazaka that her dam is still flowing. That's when she saw her dam. It continues to flow on the first day. According to the Tana Kama in our Mishnah, only on the 7th day in the morning, if she does a bdika, that's enough. And according to Rabbi Yehuda, who's the most stringent out of them all, the bdika must take place after mincha ktana, which is 2.5 hours before shkia. If a woman did a bdika on the 7th day, and she found that she's tmeya, but she didn't check ben hashmashit, she checked in the morning, and later on she found that she was tahar. So we have a chazaka, since she's checked in the morning and she saw that she has dam, so she has a chazaka that she's tamei. We have a suffix here, perhaps she saw dam for 3 days, and that created a zavak daila. If she checked on day 7 and she found that she's tmeya, and then she checked later on and she found that she's tamei, according to Rav, she's vaday zavak daila. In other words, we fill in the gap. And according to Levi, you can't assume that the gap was full of dam, and therefore she's only suffix tamei. What if she checked and she found that she's tahar, and then days later she found that she's tmeya? So that's the case we mentioned before, but the Mishnah says that if she doesn't have a veses kavua, she doesn't have an established period, then she's tamei meis leis, like the first Mishnah in our Masechta, that when a woman sees dam, then you have to go retroactive 24 hours, and everything she touched within those 24 hours is tamei. If she has a veses kavua, there's no reason to assume that perhaps she saw the dam 24 hours prior. It's daya shata from here on out is tamei. This that Rav Huna says that you cannot be kriveya, you can't establish a veses in her days of ziva, and these are days of ziva because they happen immediately after the days of niddah. What he means is that during ziva days, it's not natural to see dam, and therefore she's considered misulek as dam. And typically, when a woman has a veses kavua, she saw dam 3 days, the same day, 3 months in a row, she has a veses kavua. In order to be oikered, in order to uproot it, you have to see 3 days, a different day, the same exact day, but different days than the veses kavua. Over here, since she doesn't have dam typically during ziva days, you don't have to be oikered. But the fact that she doesn't have dam, that's exactly the reason why we say daya shata from here on out, and we don't go back 24 hours because she's a woman who doesn't have dam. Similar halachas when we talk about a zav and a zava, who have to, after they see a ziva for 3 days, they count 7 clean days. During those 7 clean days, they should be doing bedikas every day. What if they only did a bdika on day 1 and on day 7? We have a 3-way machlokes. According to Rabbi Eliezer, since they did a bdika on day 1 and there was no ziva, and they did bdika on day 7 and there was no ziva, so you fill in the gap. You say the entire 7 days were betahara, she's bechesek stara. In fact, that's the halacha. Rabbi Shua says a very interesting psak. He says day 1 and day 7 count as 2 days of clean days out of the 7 days. And you just continue counting another 5 days. Very difficult to understand this svara. But he says the reason is because we see if a person is a zav and he sees a keri, we take out that 1 day of keri. You see, you can count the sirugim. It doesn't have to be consecutive days. Here too, in the same halacha by a nazir who walks under branches, you could count not consecutive days and they count. Rabbi Akiva holds that the only day we count is day 7. Since day 7 was clean, you just continue counting another 6 days, and there you have your 7 akiyim. The Gemara says, although Rabbi Akiva sounds most logical, the halacha is like Rabbi Eliezer. Have a wonderful day.